The name of the exhibition is Babalogic in the Desert. So it's based on the Tower of Babel, the biblical story, where God in his wrath stopped people speaking the same language to each other. And the next morning, they couldn't talk to each other, they couldn't pass bricks to finish the tower, so the whole project ended. But now, Chinese is one of the most popular languages learned by English speakers and English by Chinese speakers. And that language, both languages respectively, are the most difficult for English and Chinese speakers to learn because it's the total opposite.
谦虚，笑，太极，阴阳，风水。
All the pieces have a Chinese graphic component. You know, they're all the characters. I was not born with the language. I had to actually live in China and start from scratch. After 10 years, my Chinese, my Mandarin, is at best cursory. I can speak real basic conversations. But where I love using Mandarin most is in my art. This one, for example, says Ji Du Yo Shen, which literally means ultimate relaxation. But it's an example, a 4-character example of a Chinese idiom, which also gets passed down over the ages, and usually from wisdom from wars or some event in history. So this piece is actually in the shape of an egg. It's called birth or dancheng, which is like dancheng is like chicken egg. So it's an egg which portrays or symbolizes China, hence the red also. And there are, you see, 50 women coming out of the dark, out of the steppes, out of the open, carrying their duties, which is either, you know, symbolism for vegetables, future of China, education, children, whatever. So these 50 women are coming out of the dark, carrying their duties. Well, the thing is built on 3 wheels, and like the other piece, the 3-wheel vehicle is the most common in China for transport. You can buy one for 150 bucks over there. It's just basic, you know, nothing fancy. They'll last forever because nothing goes wrong. I've been using 3D software modeling since about '94, so it's 25 years almost. And all these pieces are first drawn using 3D modeling. So it gives me the opportunity, it gives you a range of options. But that tower was actually, that was prior to 3D printing. So it was actually computer cut using the model that I created. So it's mathematically perfect, down to the 0.001 millimeter, no, 0.000 millimeter. So the proportion of the floors, the dimensions, shrink by percentage, small percentage, but can never be done by hand. Well, this is based on the Tower of Babel, and it has 9 levels, which tracks the evolution of the Mandarin from the time when it was before contact with the West. So they were all, the language was in a sense pure, to level 4 or 5, which is where we are now, where industrialization, pop culture, birth control, all those things, all these concepts and ideas and logic from the West is suddenly espoused in China. They didn't have the vocabulary, so they had to adapt. Like punk, this punk, word for punk, it's pangke, which are two separate characters. They have no meaning other than to perform the sound of the word pangke. My name is Lawrence Tan. I'm a Nevada resident, and this is my second exhibition in Vegas. So come down and have a look at the Rotunda Center here in the Government Center. So please come along.